So this is an incredible true story about my GoPro, this one here, which spent 10 months underwater in the underwater forest. I was using this camera filming for the documentary. I set it down on the bottom and I couldn't find it. So initially I thought perhaps a big fish, like a red snapper, had picked it up. They have blinking lights on them, and I see the fish come in and look at them a lot. In fact, triggerfish will actually hit them and try and bite the lens. So I thought maybe that's what had happened. I couldn't find it. I was actually out there with Brian Jones, who's the aquarium manager, the curator of all the aquariums at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab. When I lost it, he was with me. Well, coincidentally, Brian was with me last month. We went to get pieces of wood to make an exhibit at the Sea Lab of the underwater forest. So we were bringing a few pieces of wood back. I was rooting around wrestling with the piece on the bottom, and Brian tapped me on the shoulder holding this, which I immediately suspected was my lost GoPro. Seeing the smashed housing, I figure I must have knelt on it and ground my knee into it and busted the glass. It's more romantic to have a fish eat it, but I think the fact that we found it in the exact same spot where we lost it 10 months later. We got home and popped it open. You can see it's quite filthy. Got the camera out, which wasn't easy. It was completely flooded. The camera was fully wet. As you can see, it's horribly corroded. It looks terrible. Get the card out. This is a Samsung 32 gigabyte card. I gotta say, I'm a believer in Samsung. Let's pop it into an adapter and stick it in the machine and see what happens. Here we've got Brian catching a fish. Here he's catching a cowfish, I remember this. He took these back and put them in the aquarium. The incredible thing is inside this camera, this card was fully wet to the point of destruction, you would think. The real question is why and how did the data survive on this tiny card for all this time?
The first thing here we notice is that all the electrical connectors, the edge connector here, is gold plated. It's not that gold is the best electrical conductor. It's not. That would be silver in metals. That would be silver. Of all materials, of course, it would be graphene. It's not that. It produces a very reliable connection. It doesn't tarnish. Gold does not tarnish. Inside this card there is a conformal coating, and that is a transparent rubbery coating that can be painted or sprayed onto circuit boards or memory modules like this one. It can be, there's various products, it can be acrylic, epoxy, fluoropolymer. What it boils down to is it makes the memory card waterproof. I think these two technologies go a long way to helping memory cards such as this and Ben's to survive the arduous life.